Rest in peace, boiling water. You will be missed. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xerath Prevails. Today let's talk about 5 characters everyone should be working on. Just drop all the things. Don't do any of your current plans. Just only work on these. No, obviously that's not what we talk about here on this. This is kind of a series. I do it most months. And I was actually going to do a different video today. But, I can't because Photoshop won't let me because the AWS servers went down. So instead, I worked on other stuff all night, and now the game is finally back up, and I can work on stuff. So, huge shout out to my patrons, by the way. You guys are awesome, and I couldn't do this without you. And if you want to support this channel for free, folks, all you gotta do is hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, comment. Let's mount the algorithm, shall we? I know it's a crazy idea, but perhaps we could do it. So let's go. Whoa, first, look at that. The character that's recurring on all of these videos almost. And no, this isn't only an I told you so, it's primarily one, but last time I made this video I was like, hey, work on Drogan because he's good. Also, maybe he'll be the pilot for a B-Wing. And lo and behold, CG searched their archives for through the lore. They combed the lore of Drogan. They were like, oh my gosh, do you think maybe he could be a B-Wing pilot? And then they discovered that, oh yeah, we wrote all of his stuff because we invented this character. And yet indeed he does have a B-Wing piloting license. So that's helpful for them. It's somewhat helpful for us, I guess. The thing that's nice about it is we don't have to upgrade the pilot, really. Like, he's already required at what? He's required at 5. Everyone should have him at 6, 7, 8, 9, something like that. We should be preparing him for Relic 10, frankly, regardless of the stats, just because of how important he is on so many different levels. As a pilot, though, like, it's just crazy how the interesting thing, I think, people are like, dude, okay, Red 5 is gonna maybe come here soon, right? Like, we're gonna get Red 5 soon. And that's cool, I guess. That's fine. But they're like, but it's not possible that they're going to have it be a pre-existing character. The pilot can't be Farm Boy Luke. It just can't be. They're going to, because they need to make more money, CG has to release a character for Red 5 first. And, I mean, okay, but it's like, after I've been doing my conspiracy theory discussions on, I think Red 5 is coming, which who knows if it is or not, but after I've made those videos and people have been like, dude, there's no way they're gonna make a pre-existing character, like, especially like maybe an important character, a pilot, there's no way. CG needs the money. They're going to make a character for that ship. And then they release B-Wing. They're like, yeah, most people have him at 7 or higher. Let's just have Drogan be the B-Wing pilot. It's just, I don't know. It's funny to me. It's hilarious, in fact. So, work on your Drogan, I guess. And the crazy thing is, if you're a new player, this suddenly becomes a pretty nice farm because he helps on a lot of different teams. He's just a strong character. They did a good job designing him to go with a ton of different characters, even though Leia's like the best version. But then also Home 1 is one of the starting fleets, and once B-Wing becomes farmable, it's just going to be like the best starting player fleet. I like by a pretty long margin. So Drogan becomes one of the most important, most must farm immediately characters in the game in a lot of ways. Just a fascinating situation. And to think the CG might not have invented this character. All right. Next is Antenna Girl. I don't know if you should work on her right away, guys. So I kind of touched on this previously of just working on like, you don't have to drop everything for this list. This list is more of a, hey, you should consider this as a thing you might want to work on. And Aurra Sing, the antenna head woman, who knows, man? I keep going back and forth. Like after the reading Forlom's kit a million times, that's a slight exaggeration, but um I just can't decide. We'll have to just find out what Zuckuss is up to, how he's going to support the team. But they did rework her kit a little bit. They made her special do more damage if the target is stunned, and it doesn't have to necessarily be toppled. I like that they kept the toppled language in there. That's kind of fun. But they did make it so that she can function and operate on this team better. I think it's pretty obvious that the intention is to have her be on this team, and she's always been a pretty decent character. Like, she does a lot of cool stuff. Like, she stuns on basics sometimes. I think it's not certainly not always, but yeah, 70% chance to stun. And of course, she also she needs potency for that. Then this is on my alt, so don't judge my mods, guys. I barely use her, but she's also got a lead that is nice. Like, it works really nicely with like Bosk teams, frankly, because she stealths everyone on her lead, and then all you have to do is, if you call a bunch of mass assists with the team, then every time someone takes an action while they have a buff, and that includes stealth, then they get that you reduce, or you get your contract. You get 10% of your contract, and so you get your contract pretty quick, and you're able to vaporize someone with Mandalorian pretty quickly, with between Grief, Bosk, and Mando, and so her lead is pretty nice, and then she does some decent damage with this, and it looks like she's going to do more with if they're stunned. I do think that there's language in the Forlom kit that kind of excludes Grief from wanting to be there. It seems like they're trying to make some divider line, and this isn't a video about Forlom necessarily, though this really is a direct reference to the new Bounty Hunter team. May be good and it may be total garbage, we don't know yet, but Aurra's going to be an important part of whatever that team is, just like Tusken Shaman may not be necessarily that good, but he's also an important part of the 5-man Tusken team, right? Regardless of if the Tusken team is actually good. So Aurra, if you really care about these new bounty hunters characters and teams, I think she's going to be a pretty decent bet, and you get an antenna sticking out of her head. I don't know why her relic is a blaster instead of antenna, though. That's weird. Okay, Great Mothers. Hey, guys, Maz Kanata came out recently, and she's actually really, really strong. She's amazing, in fact, and the way you beat Maz Kanata on defense right now, the #1 go-to way is Great Mothers. They do a great job of destroying your opponent's composition, whatever it is. For the most part, obviously your mileage may vary, but and it's it's too early to know exactly if it's like a really, really high percentage win rate, or if it's a really, really, really high percentage win. What we do know is that Great Mothers, at least in 3s and usually in 5s, you find a way to be useful. They continue to impress, and even though we have a decent datacron for them right now, their dominance is not reliant on datacrons, which is, of course, a pretty important factor to consider. They take out multiple galactic legends. They counter all kinds of stuff. They're just a very useful team, and I believe that they are now accelerated. If they're not, they'll be accelerated soon. And one way or another, I mean, you get to unlock Balin, you get to do all sorts of fun stuff. This team really does have it's cool because it's got some nuance, but it's also a lot of point and click. It's just like, okay, I know, it's easy to wrap your mind around the different situations that they might find themselves in, and you can pretty easily adapt to it. It's not like you're playing Bad Batch and you're like, oh my gosh, I have so many trillions of options, I don't know what to do. Or maybe you are like that, but if you are, then I don't know if this game is for you. That was mean. But one way or another, this team, it continues to impress. I keep wondering, like, when are they going to start being obsolete? At some point, maybe they will be, but so far, I've been very impressed, and I think people should be working on this team and their unlocked characters, which is also nice. All right, here's the one that made me want to make this video a little earlier than I normally would. Starkiller is a character that has kind of a little bit been pushed back into I don't know, a little more on the back burner now, just because he, with Emperor Palpatine and Mara Jade, they still do okay, and especially early game and like the early mid game, they do okay. They do pretty well, in fact. But he's just more and more, especially at the end game. Like, sure, he's still good, but you just throw him on various teams to like increase some like hit points. You're like, yeah, okay, he'll kind of help him a little bit, but whatever. You know, like he's kind of an afterthought. But now they just released the kit on the Stranger, and golly, the Stranger seems pretty dang strong, guys. He seems ridiculous, and the Stranger seems to be the next iteration of Starkiller. Like, they basically just told us that, like, you're going to want Starkiller as one of the characters. Like, essentially, Stranger / Starkiller are like lifter units for each other. They're supposed to go with each other. And so I don't know if you can unlock the Stranger early or not, but Starkiller is a character that you can see my alt only has him at Relic 6. You know, with Relic Delta coming, which I know that's the swear word right now, but with that coming, I mean, Relic 6 is okay, but it's not going to be as good as if he's at, like, Relic 8 or something, and he's going to be right in the thick of things. Like, if any of the characters on this list are a safe bet, it's going to be Starkiller. He's already been really strong. He will continue to be dominant here pretty dang soon. And then finally, Ithano. Look, guys, the Maz team is a lot of fun. It's really cool. I don't know how much of that is the Datacron set that we have for her, or how much of it is actually her team. We've only seen them in eventually I'll get the right number, in 3v3, and so we don't know how good it like long term the Maz team is going to be. I will say they've been very strong in territory battles, which I know people don't necessarily care, but like that's a good sign. Like, they'll continue to hold their usefulness all the way through phase 4. I don't know if we want to get them all the way to Relic 9 or not, but to test on phase 5, etc. But it is a very strong team there, and I'm very interested to see. Now we'll have a week of TW coming up. I feel like Ithano is actually a character who would make that team a little bit better in TW because he has his Omicron. But one way or another, the Maz team is really good. He's also a character that's an unlock character for Galactic Legend Hondo, and I just think Pirate King Hondo is really strong too. He's consistently shown himself to be a very strong character already. We don't know how Smugglers Run 3 is going to be like. We don't know much about that situation, but I will say that Ithano is doing some good stuff, man. He seems like a really good character, and I'm really looking forward to not just Ithano. Like, this is more of a placeholder for the whole Maz Kanata team. Like, it's just a good team. Like, Quigold is also pretty good, and they're farmable now. This is an example of don't wait until they're accelerated to get them, because first off, you're gonna want Hondo for Smugglers Run 3 pretty dang soon. You're gonna want for a lot of people, they've already unlocked Maz or will unlock her pretty soon. This account will unlock her in like 2 months, so I've got some time, but that you're gonna want Pirate King Hondo, and so you're gonna want him for that. You're also gonna want him for that Maz team, and it just seems like why would you wait? Right now seems like the time to start working on this character, because it's good now, and if you have Maz already, you really, like, you should be pretty close to done. Like, I'm already really close to done here. He's farmable and ready to go. So those are the 5, and then if you want my stretch goals here, guys, these are just 2 characters that more like represent the teams that I want to talk about. I just keep finding that Balin, even though there are some times, especially in 5s, where you're not going to use him on offense necessarily, and he is fairly easily countered if he's on defense, at least in GAC, he does tend to find a way to be relevant. Like his kit is just so strong against certain archetypes and builds, and if you keep him for offense with the intent of like, okay, Jedi Master Kenobi, pretty much every iteration of Jedi Master Kenobi can just be beat by Baylan, like that's pretty solid. Every version of or at least Datacron dependent, right? But also like all the different Saw teams, which we see a lot now lately, especially with the Rolocron being so good. He destroys those. He actually has some pretty nice synergy against Rey, at least in 5v5 in threes. I think that it just takes a little too long for him to ramp up to be able to survive against a Rey team, though I'd like to try it sometime. What I guess my point is, even on my alt account, he's been extremely useful, and surprisingly, even though he doesn't have a way to ramp his turn meter or anything, I just it's been a fun team. So stretch goal, yes, I know he's tough to get. There's lots of reasons not to work on him, but it's not required for anything. But I've told you it's a stretch goal, so do what you want. And then Bad Batch, they keep impressing me, frankly. Not in the raid. Don't get them for the raid because they suck in the raid. They make you cry a little bit. But they continue to show to demonstrate. I don't know, but like they're very tactically sound on a lot of levels. In threes they kind of lack. In fives they do quite a bit. They counter a lot of things that you wouldn't have thought they would counter, including Baylan. In fact, they kill the Baylan squads pretty well. They also take out Traya. They take out a lot of teams that people consistently put on defense. Is this team going to end up being like Hall of Fame worthy? Just like destroys everything all the time? No, not probably. I think the Maz team is probably a much safer bet. A lot of these teams are going to be safer bets, but this team is cool, and they're good now because they are okay in, like, they suck in the raid, but they're still like useful for it, right? Even if you have to put extra effort in with them. That like this team is never going to hold more value than right now, and I'm saying this as a stretch goal thing, like I said, but this team is definitely, the Bad Batch team, the new batch, is definitely, holds a decent amount of value right now. In a year, my guess is, we'll see. Maybe they'll rework Territory Wars and they'll find a new home there or something. I don't know, but they killed Queen Amidala as well in 5v5, which is pretty cool. So it's Wizard even, and that's it, folks. That's all for today. What characters do you think everyone should be working on? Drop everything and farm them. I would like to hear what your thoughts are. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zareth prevails. Take care, folks.